That is Dave Chappelle there. Let's bring in a couple folks right now to talk about this and more. Carl Higbie is here. He's a former Navy SEAL who's very supportive of Donald Trump. And Symone Sanders, she's a CNN political commentator, supported Hillary Clinton. She was also, of course, National Press Secretary for the Bernie Sanders campaign. Great to see you both. Another interesting moment, kind of dovetailing off of what you saw Dave Chappelle talking about, is during the 60 Minutes interview, Donald Trump was asked about racist incidents that have popped up since his election, and here's his message. I want you both to listen to this, and then we'll react.
Do you want to say anything to those people?
I would say don't do it. That's terrible, because I'm going to bring this country together.
They're harassing Latinos, Muslims.
I am so saddened to hear that, and I say stop it if it helps. I will say this, and I'll say it right to the camera, stop it.
Symone, your take on that. A very clear message there from Donald Trump to his supporters.
You know, I need Donald Trump to put some action behind those words. I remember during the primary where our campaign, the Bernie Sanders campaign, talked about how Hillary Clinton went to talk to Wall Street and she told them to stop it, to cut it out. And that was not enough. It is not enough for Donald Trump to look at the camera on 60 Minutes and tell them stop it. He has a platform of Twitter that he uses to attack journalists and everybody else. How about he use that platform to talk directly to his supporters? I'd also like to note, Kate, that earlier in that 60 Minutes interview, he was also asked about hate crimes and the people protesting, and he suggested that these folks were professional protesters and said, well, I don't know if these hate crimes are happening. And then his son also jumped in and said, you know, I'm not sure if they're happening. So the audacity of privileged white people to sit on national television and question if hate crimes are happening, to just flippantly say, stop it, it's not okay, and not put any action behind those words is appalling to me, really, Kate. It's actually appalling.
Carl, I know we had a technical glitch for a second, Carl, and I hope you heard most of this, but I want you to get your reaction to this.
Well, you know, like I heard about the last 30 seconds of it, but I will say, look, Donald Trump did say, stop it. But I would say to the counter of that, where was Obama when people were smashing neighborhoods after all these riots? I mean, he didn't necessarily take a firm stance on getting people to stop. I think what happens is look, people should not riot and cause violence on either side of the aisle regarding the issue. I think it's stupid for people to come out and say racist things and, you know, whatever power for Trump, but they shouldn't do it on either side. And I think there should be a real serious hatch down here of the law and just say, look, stop doing violence upon other people, stop doing violence upon neighborhoods. It doesn't.
Hate crimes and I'm sorry, Kate. Hate crimes and protesting are not the same things. We cannot normalize this. Carl, a hate crime is a crime that is committed against somebody because of their religion, because of what they look like, because of their sexual orientation. That is not the same thing as protesting.
I don't think Carl is disputing that, though.
Well, he should make it very clear, because what I heard is both people on both sides should just cut it all out. And a hate crime is not the same thing as protesting. We have to be very deliberate about that.
And what do you say to the people who dragged a poor white guy out of a car and beat him?
Oh my goodness, poor white people! Please, stop it, Carl. What I say to people that protest is that, first of all, apparently there has never been an acceptable. Pardon me, there has never been an acceptable form of protest. What I'm saying is I am calling for people to be peaceful. I think protesting is a right. It is what this country was founded on. We got this country via protest, actually. But it's never okay to use violence. But we can't keep calling for people to be peaceful. We can't call for people to be peaceful when the rhetoric that has been used is not peaceful, when people don't feel peaceful in their homes. We have to reckon with that.
I want to finish with one quick question, Carl. You've been on as a long time as a Donald Trump supporter. I had an interesting conversation with Randy Evans earlier this hour. Do you see what you heard from Donald Trump on 60 Minutes? Do you see him softening or evolving on issues? Please give me a brief answer.
No, and I'll go specifically into Obamacare. Look, you can't just dump 1 billion people or 1 million people off health insurance. I mean, you have to do this humanely because, look, ironically, Obamacare was designed to not be unimplemented. So you have to do it in a smart, intelligent way. You don't want to immediately kick 13 million people off their health insurance plans that lost it in the first place because of Obamacare. Now they would have nothing to go to. Okay. So we have to do it humanely. We have to do it intelligently. And it's going to be a trickle out. It's not going to happen overnight. And so he's not softening. He's just finding out the best way for the American public.
That's an about-face of what he said on the campaign trail, by the way.
Not really.
But
it's going to get repealed and it's going to get replaced.
Governing is different than campaigning, and it seems that we're all looking at it. Depends on what lens you look at it through. Shocker. Great to see you both. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks
for coming on. Appreciate it, guys. All right. So.